one spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Smoke one spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Smoke one spliff while you're waiting for Jeran. Smoke one spliff, get high to the rhythm. Jeran, we waiting for Jeran. Jeran, we waiting for Jeran.
All right, well, no more. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Jeranism Show, the Jeranism channel. We are going to be going through the final experiments with an S, the final experiments. Let me show you the thumbnail. We've got Toon here. He's going to be going through 5 of them, I believe, and should be a good time. Let me bring him on and make sure. Now, somebody just sent me a video. I don't know. It must be a joke or something. Do you know anything about Witsit doing a video called It's Not Flat After All?
People have, just as I was starting, people are like, hey, did you see this? Like, nope. So I don't know what's going on. People are like, has he said things to Jaren? Does Jaren know? Like, I don't know.
Sorry about that. That was the wrong screen. I don't know anything about it. I just saw it in the, when is that supposed to start? Let me see.
I don't
Somebody
know.
just sent it to me on Telegram. It shows, I'm just going to click it, see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what it's, in 51 minutes. The Earth is not flat after all.
Maybe he's going like Bev. You know, Bev is like, I can prove the Earth isn't flat. There's topography.
Right. Maybe that's what he's going to say. I don't know. He certainly hasn't spoke to me about that. So I don't think it's what some people might be thinking. Anyway, let's get over here. All right, Toon, tell everybody who you are in case they don't know or something.
I am MC Toon, and I went to Antarctica with Jaren here. This direction here for you. And it was a great trip. And I've always been on the globe side, and Jaren, until recently, has been on the flat side. And even so, we got along just fine. We were best of buds.
Sure, I heard somebody told Red's Rhetoric told you that I hated you or something. So somebody told me. I don't know.
I think he took when you're like, because you said like, I will go and find somebody on Facebook that doesn't know how to debate flat
But that's
Earth and
fact.
debate them.
That's fact.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, yeah, I don't like his method. I think it's a terrible method. But at least you're honest, because I say, hey, it's a terrible method to recruit flat earthers, and you're like, I'm not trying to recruit flat earthers. It's like, okay, well, good, because you're not doing a good job.
Or not recruit or convert, right?
Right, because there's nobody who listens to you, basically. I mean, this is the problem with flat Earth in general, is that they don't really listen, and I was one of them. I didn't listen to Simon Dan's videos. I didn't listen to Dave McKeegan's videos. But then
Ranty made that clear years ago. He's like, no flat earthers watch any globe videos. So,
no. Well, mostly because of the derogatory nature, right? So I mean, if it was somebody like, if we watch anybody, it would be like, I can science that, right? He is usually pretty nice. It tends to be well behaved or something. Does that kind of go over well? But I mean, again, but you have your point. You know what you're doing for your channel, and I believe in YouTube that people can do whatever they want on their channel. So who's it? Yeah. Who's it for me to say what you can and can't do? All right. So what's our first one up? Or do you have anything you need to say? Or are we ready to go?
I got 5, but one of them I couldn't quite put together. So it's going to be, it's in the middle.
4.5.
4.5.
Okay. And do you need a full screen, or you think it'd be good up in that little box up there? Or I can do full screen.
It'll be good full screen.
Okay.
I think so. Let me share.
We can do that.
Share. Let's see.
Let me see if I got this one here. Where's the share one? Here.
That's not it.
And there. Okay, it should be good when you share.
There's a whole bunch named The Final Experiments. I need to find the correct one. Is that it?
I don't know that.
That's not it.
So that one's good.
Okay. Or is it?
And I'm going to also do that.
It is. Okay.
Okay, so I see it. Yep, we've got like a slide or something on there.
It's a slide. Yep.
Okay.
So the big one, of course, is whether or not the sun was up for 24 hours. And I find it amusing that people are like, you didn't go. Wait, let me stop the share for a second. I got to cover this.
Sure.
You know the people that say we didn't go, right? I can prove that every one of them is lying.
I think so. Hope so.
Every single one of them is lying.
Okay, why?
And I can prove that. Here's how I can prove it. 2, this is an open offer to anybody that says we did not go and that somehow it was faked. Okay, open offer. I will bring you and I will pay for you to go to Antarctica. And I will pay you at least another $60,000 more. I will put $100,000 in escrow and I will bring you to Antarctica on my dime. And we will watch the sun. And if the sun sets, then I will pay for you. But if the sun stays up, well, then, you're certain, right? Those of you that are certain that it was all set up, Dubé,
Flatzoid,
Nico, Flatzoid, whoever it is, Sam, you're so certain that you will go online and you will make these accusations against me, against Jaron, against Austin, against everybody. You are so certain that you will also put $100,000 in escrow. And if the sun does circle for 24 hours a day, then I get that 100,000. You see how it happens there? Sun circles, I get your 100,000. Sun sets, you get my 100,000. Either way, one of our trip is paid for. But if you're certain, I'm certain, if you're certain, then you will do it. Now, this is how I prove that every one of them are lying. If they were certain, they would jump on it. But Darren, I don't know if you want to go again. I'd love to go again.
I would like to go again if somebody would pay for me, but I'm not putting money on the line.
You could.
No,
but this is the like, are you certain enough that you would put $100,000 on the line that the sun will stay up?
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm that certain. Is Nico that certain?
No.
Is Eric Dubé that certain? Of course not. They're lying. They don't think that it was faked. They say that because that's their thing. And they're just lying. That's how I know that they're lying.
Yeah, I mean, Flatzoid, it's like once they've gone a week of saying it's, I mean, what are they going to do? Then say, oh, we were wrong. So now they just spend every week picking apart little things that just mean nothing. They basically think that I left a lemon by saying the word set, even though people have shown that it's probably not what I said. I probably said since. But regardless, either way, I'm the one saying, no, it's real. We went, the sun circles every day.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's all you need to hear. You don't need to make up your own things like, oh no, he said it. So it invalidates the entire, that's what they said yesterday. It invalidates the entire thing because Jaron said sets. Like, what? How could that invalidate? So like when we're delirious, makes a lot of sense.
To that Steve guy from England.
Oh boy.
Who's like, I'll pay £1,000 to anybody that can prove that Jaron said since.
I think I've seen 3 people do it.
Instead of set. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just commented in his video, said, Jaron says he said since, pay Jaron. So I say, Jaron, you get the £1,000.
Well, I actually don't remember that. That was a delirious time. That was at the end of the second day, or this end of the 15th. So, whether I did say that or not, I don't know. But it would have been, I was explaining that the sun never sets and saying it goes here, it goes up here, it comes down here, it goes around there. Yeah. And then I went into something else. So, hey, people can think what they want. It's not very safe to think that way. And I've talked to somebody yesterday who really feels adamant about the fact that they can't trust Glober experiments. And I told them, all right, well, just so you know. Yeah, well, it's like, well, just so you know, I mean, that's a dangerous proposition because if you're saying you're only going to accept flat Earth experiments, then that means you have to accept things from Stephen Alonso and other known liars, which is not a good way to go about truth seeking. So anyway, let's.
Alonso he's not even trying. He's not even trying to hide.
I don't know how people have fallen for that. It's like the most gross, over the top thing. I mean, have you seen his little drawings where he draws like on a whiteboard and shows how he comes up with the latitude? And it's like, it's like, that's not, you didn't predict that. You just took the globe's numbers and then did a little minusing and said, oh, if it's outside of 66 degrees, then we know it doesn't get the 24-hour sun. It's like, yeah, on December 21st that works, but where'd you get those numbers? You just made them up.
Or they just came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere. All right. So what else you got to say?
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So experiment number 1 is whether or not the sun circles for 24 hours a day or does whatever the flat Earth predicts. And whatever, I couldn't get a solid prediction from anybody other than it will set.
I heard Flatzoid say yesterday that it sets in the south. It should have set in the south. I'm like, no, it shouldn't have. But anyway, go ahead.
No, well, I'll cover that. That's one of the next ones here. So, and it's definitely an experiment because it's testable. It's a testable hypothesis. Does the sun circle? Yes or no? It's a super easy thing. You can just go there and look. That's an experiment. So, it's really simple. Yes, it did, in fact, do that. So the globe predicts the 24-hour circling sun. It was confirmed. The flat Earth predicts either it will set, or that'll be, if you apply geometry, it'll be, northish. But so flat Earth falsified.
Yeah, I would have taken any sunset to really mean that the flat Earth was viable, but it doesn't set. So that gets rid of that. And I just want people to know, because I see people losing their minds in chats and Telegram and stuff. Everybody's got to say, oh, Jaron sold out. Jaron got to pay out. How much did they pay you? And just think of what you're saying. So if we really did go down to Antarctica, and if I saw the sun circle, and if I'm an honest person, then I would come back and I would say I saw the sun circle. And if when on that trip I realized some things exist, like the South Celestial Pole, which means the South Pole exists, and which means the Tropic of Capricorn curves to the left and not to the right, and many other things like that, then as a truther, I have to come back and be honest with my audience and say the sun set and it's not flat and it can't be flat. And here's the reasons why. So just so you know, when you're saying how much did they pay you, what did you take a payout, or I'm an honest person, which you must not be very used to, because you've never even assumed that that could be the reason why I came back saying what I did and why I'm sitting here today saying what I did, because it's the truth. And so if it was, oh, let's get Toon on here to lie to people, I would never have that happen. It's Toon's coming on to show the experiments that are truth. They're truthful. They didn't fake them. They didn't cheat them. They didn't connive them, the night before or on their laptops, and nothing like that. It was legit experiments, observations that were made. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, there wasn't just the one. I listed out 16. So on my webpage, mctoon.net/TFE-experiments, I list all 16. That's been untouched since before we left. So you can go there and see how it was frozen in time. So number 6 is star trails looking south. So the globe predicts that there will be a single center of rotation seen due south. And the flat Earth prediction is that there will be horizontally moving stars due south. And I will show that. I'll show both of them here.
Right. People are going to interject there and say, no, that's not our prediction. Our prediction is that we will see backwards moving star rotations due to an antipodal point or something. But that's not what we actually see. So
we'll model it. I'll say model it.
Right.
And so I modeled it. This is the thing. I went and bought myself a dome, a plastic dome, the thing that flat earthers say is there. Anyway, so here is the globe. Here's a model, 3D model predicting what the globe will see. You've got a clockwise rotation of the stars around a single point. So I found somebody who's making a model in Blender. So, and here is then my my actual model that I did. This is a dome thing that I made. I put stickers on there, glow in the dark. I used a black light to shine on the to make them fluoresce. So there's the dome thing, and so there it is. This is looking north, or up. This is the counterclockwise stars, and then here is what the dome has when you're looking south toward the outside. You see them moving horizontally. So if anybody's like, well, no, that's not what we would see. Okay, well then model it. Show me a physical model.
Right. And the South Celestial Pole is there. We saw it from Punta Arenas. Somebody said, you guys lied. You said you saw it in Antarctica. It was light the whole time. No, nobody claimed to see it in Antarctica. We claimed to see it from Punta Arenas, and it stays put. And you can ask Flatzoid to go film it for you from South Africa, and he will see the same thing, a southern celestial pole that does not move. The flat Earth would only work if that pole somehow went around to every location and became their south, but it doesn't move. So it just can't be that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is mine taken with a P1000 out the hotel window. You can see the center rotation is farther north. This one is from Will Duffy. It's with his Insta360 actually stuck out the window. So it both of them match the globe. Now this is interesting though, when you actually plot out, there's two stars in particular. I'm like, well, let's look at what they say. So there's a star A Crux and a star Beta Hydri, and A Crux is part of the Southern Cross, which like there's every single thing around in Punta Arenas has the Southern Cross on it. It's super common. It's at 62 degrees south declination. So that's basically like the latitude in the sky. So 63 degrees south. So at 63 degrees and 3 minutes south, at one point of the day, if you look straight up, you will see A Crux. And same thing for Beta Hydri. At 77 degrees, 15 minutes due south declination, you will see it at one point during the day. So here it is in a star chart, and here it is zoomed in. We can see here we've got the south celestial pole in the middle. This is what's observed, and you see A Crux at the bottom there, and Beta Hydri at the top, and they rotate around the center of rotation. Right, that's the video I showed. But what would it look like on flat Earth? Well, that's where they are on flat Earth. Look, they're opposite each other. They're on opposite sides of the pole, which means that this is where they would be in relation to each other over flat Earth. Opposite each other. And so at one point in the night, if you're in Punta Arenas or just, a little bit south of it, you look straight up, you'll see A Crux, right, on flat Earth. and at that moment, on the opposite side, nearly 40,000 kilometers away is the GP for Beta Hydri. But in reality, they're right next to each other in the sky, right?
So both those are circumpolar.
Right there. Yeah, they're very close to the center of rotation.
Right. So if people don't know, circumpolar stars are the ones in the north that don't rise or set. So there's a few of them. If you go out tonight, if you're in the United States, look north at the North Star, you're going to see the stars that go around it but never rise or set. Well, there's the same thing in the south. But the problem with that is on a flat Earth map, the southern stars must go around the entirety of the outskirts of the map. So how is it that there's stars that or just go around the pole star, go around the south celestial pole, but also somehow go around the outside of the Earth? It's just not possible. Again, you could use the Walter Bislin model, in which case you're just moving things to exactly where the globe predicts and then saying that we predicted that, which is false.
Yeah, there's no plausible mechanism for why you would be in Punta Arenas looking due south and see A Crux see where it is there at the opposite end of the Earth. Why would you see it looking south? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, again, that's an experiment because we make predictions, a testable hypothesis, a globe prediction, a single center of rotation due south, confirmed. The flat Earth prediction, horizontally moving stars due south, falsified. Again, if you say, well, that's not what we predict, well, how do you predict it? Don't just say words. Show me, show the geometry, physics, optics for it, something like that, or make a physical model for it. But just saying a bunch of words, well, that's just a bunch of words.
We don't have a model. We don't have we don't make claims. Hey, is your screen showing that it's cut off, or is it just me?
I think that's just you.
How weird. On the share screen, it's like cut off halfway.
Really?
I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't know. All right, it's fine. It's cut off for us over here. Oh,
well, maybe I can.
There you go. Now it's good. Now it's back.
I did nothing. Awesome.
Good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So anyway, if you want to correct me on it, the invitation is open. Please let me know if I'm wrong. I want to know. Show me the prediction. All right. Next one. The sunrise and sunset time and azimuth angles for both the globe and for flat Earth. So I took, we were there for several days. So I took two specific days that we have, that I did. I was there for these, and other people like Dave McKeegan got a sunrise. I didn't ask him to give me his details for it. And Will used a drone, hovered above the road. I didn't get that, but you'll see the drone here in a minute because I was there for the sunset, but not the sunrise. So I did the sunrise when I was there on the 18th, which we'll cover in a minute here. So what is the flat Earth prediction? Well, I have here the details, north-northeast and north-northwest, and I'll show you. This is, according to the flat Earth map, in Punta Arenas, those red lines are the angles to where the sun will be at sunrise and sunset. And if you measure those angles, that's north-northeast and north-northwest. And then for the globe, well, here it is on the globe. If you've seen Andrew Marsh's animation here, this is a excellent model. Everything's to scale. You can really test things and see what it looks like. So here is the globe prediction for sunrise on December 18, and the globe prediction for sunset on December 13. And what did we see? Well, here is Will's drone hovering above the street. This was recorded with my P1000, and I messed up the color. The color's all blue, and that's on me. I did something in the camera and I didn't fix it. But anyway, that road there and that sidewalk, that's due east-west. So the sun there is setting south of due west. So,
and then it goes behind. I mean, the light, you can watch the light track right to left till sunrise.
Yeah, you can see over the horizon where the sunlight's coming across the water there to the left.
And we didn't jump straight to the conclusion that meant that was the sunlight. We were open to the fact, could it be some sort of a dome refraction? Could it be some sort of a coffee cup caustic? But again, once you fly down there and see that that's the sun, then all your questions are answered.
So, and then, so here is, I used the theodolite in my phone, and note that the magnetic declination is almost 13 degrees. So you need to adjust for that when you look at this particular video, and the numbers on screen are not. So right about there is where the sun set, and it was moving to the left. And so I move this back and forth a couple times so that. And it
sets late. I mean, it was, I think it was 10. And it was still light outside around 1. You could still see the light over there. And they don't even open restaurants in Punta Arenas until like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
That's what time dinner is. Crazy.
Yeah. That first night, they gave us popcorn on the plane down. So that's what I had for, all I had since breakfast. And then we go out to eat at 8. I'm like, holy cow, I'm a bit hungry. Yeah.
Very late. But I mean, again, I bet you if we went north to the same latitude, whatever that is, 53. 53. I always want to say 57. 53, then it would be the same thing. You'd have restaurants opening there late if there's places that are there.
Have to get what? Oh, but the camera's not on. My wife's trying to not interrupt, and so she's like, I'm going to sneak behind me. I'm like, well, the camera's not on, so it's okay. Just don't turn the camera on. She doesn't.
No.
Yeah. I did that because it's really cold here, Jaron.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you would live there.
And geez, and so like the garage door's to the side, and I close it and it's a little leaky. And so when I close it and I do the deadbolt, then it doesn't leak. She's like, why are you doing the deadbolt? So it's warmer in here. You don't have to worry about it. I'm okay.
It was like 33 yesterday. It was really 34. Bad. Too cold for me.
33 degrees in Florida? California?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Which is rare. It doesn't get that cold. I think the rain's supposed to come in pretty soon, too. It's supposed to rain the next couple of days.
It's 10 below here. Okay. Let's go to the next one here. So that is there's the sunset. So that is south of due west. And now here is the hotel we were in. This one I thought was kind of cool. This is the hotel we were in, and down there on the toward the water, mm-hmm. there's windows in the restaurant. Remember that room that was off the restaurant? So I did a live stream in that room.
Oh yeah, okay.
In that night, and you can see this was, I don't know, this is like 4 a.m. and there's Dave. Dave's super proper. He's got his pinky out because that's how proper he is. And Jonathan,
not
there.
Proper.
He's like, what are you guys talking about here? So he came in to join us. But you see the window behind us there. So that window is out on the right side of that building there, that big long building with the curved
right
roof.
About here. No, you can't see that.
I could have put an arrow on there for everybody, but anyway, that's where that is. That's looking, that window is looking southeast. Mm-hmm. And so here is, that live stream went really late. And this is 5-something a.m. You can see the sun right through that window.
Oh,
So once more, it's right out that window to the right side of the screen, which is going to be southeast where the sun rose. So anyway, did it match? It did match the globe prediction. So globe confirmed, and the flat Earth prediction north-northwest and north-northeast, it did not match. I got real numbers from the Gleason map. And again, I'll ask people, if I got it wrong, show it to me. Show me the geometry, physics, optics. Don't just say words. Words isn't it. You need evidence. So flat Earth falsified again, globe confirmed again. Again, now, so some people will say, that doesn't prove. Of course it doesn't prove. So that's not science. Science doesn't prove. Science can falsify, and science can find confirming evidence. So that's all you can do. It's always open. You might have a better understanding.
Yeah, the battle should always be what claims best match reality. And that's how you supplant the current claim, would be to come up with a better claim. So flat Earth needs to come up with a better claim, although the one that they had, which was probably the best one they had, didn't do too well. So
no. And you're going the wrong direction if you say we don't have a model. We don't have a model is the opposite of having a model that works. You need to have a model that works before.
Well, I'll change that. You can believe whatever you want. So if you want to believe in the flat Earth, you can feel free to believe that. It could be a religion, but just don't then think that you can have a place at the table of science. That's all, because science is the making of claims. It's the making of claims and backing them up with evidence. So if you're not going to do that because you don't have a model or you don't make claims, then we shouldn't even be hearing you say that. Why are you having to say that? You should be at your house watching Netflix or something.
Yeah. Hey, go watch Netflix. That's fine. All right. This one here, we got the distance between lines of longitude.
That's what I wanted to see what you guys did here.
This is, so this is the one that I didn't get all the details put together. So we did, what did I do? Yeah. So I got a lot of video of us doing this. Like we brought a trundle wheel, and we brought a laser rangefinder to measure distances.
Okay,
and
so what were you trying to do? You're basically trying to figure out what the distance between each line of longitude is, because it should be changing the further south you go, right?
Yes. Yep. So on a globe, if you're in the northern hemisphere, then the distance between lines of longitude is less. Like in Minneapolis at 45 degrees north, it's less than the equator, right? It makes sense. And on the globe at 45 degrees south, it should be the same as 45 degrees north, because the lines of longitude are maximal at the equator. And then they shrink both directions, converging at both of the poles. But if you look at the flat Earth map, it gets wider and wider between lines of longitude as you go farther south. So I have the two formulas here. This is just based on geometry, pretty simple geometry. I think probably high school geometry 1, there's usually just one geometry class in high school, would be where you'd cover enough geometry to be able to derive this yourself. But if you're out of practice, I totally understand. If you don't practice geometry, don't practice math, you're going to be rusty at it. But anyway, so this is a derivation of it. So if anybody wants to brush off their math skills and confirm or tell me, oh, you got it all wrong for flat Earth, I'm open to that.
Right. So the L is longitude in the flat Earth prediction?
Latitude.
Latitude? Okay, got you.
Yeah, from the North Pole, right? So as you get farther, so it starts at 0 at the North Pole. And at the equator, it's 90, and at 10 degrees below the equator, it's 100, and keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And do you know what it was supposed to be at Union Glacier?
I do. I did the math a lot, because we're at 80 south.
No. So, what is the globe supposed to be? Oh,
the globe? Hold on.
I'm just figuring that would be something that people might be able to grasp a little bit better.
Yep.
Because what I noticed by going south and watching the sun was that the sun does the opposite of what it does in the north, just to the different.
Yeah, it's a mirror image.
Yeah. So, that's pretty hard or pretty impossible actually to fake, the observations wouldn't match. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Okay. So the globe predicted distance between lines of longitude, between a single line of longitude, is that right? Hold on.
So we know that it is 69 miles per degree at the equator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 60 nautical miles. All right. So I did all the math in kilometers. So 67 kilometers is so 111 kilometers is at the equator. And at Punta Arenas, it's 67 kilometers is the globe prediction. And the flat earth prediction is 278 kilometers.
Okay.
And then in Antarctica, where we were, the globe prediction is just under 20 kilometers between a line of longitude, down from 111 at the equator. And the flat earth prediction gets bigger, 330 kilometers is the flat earth prediction. So really easy to test because it's a dramatic difference.
330 and
right?
20.
20, yeah, 330 kilometers versus 20 kilometers. So I'll
Hopefully
give you a little.
people understand what we're talking about. So picture the flat earth map. The the south has to be expanded. So the lines of longitude would get further apart. So what he's saying is the flat earth prediction would be 330 kilometers between each of those lines. The globe prediction is 20 kilometers. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, here is I started into our actual thing here. I don't know if you saw us, but we measured along that east-west sidewalk.
I tried not to see you as much as possible, but occasionally I did see you.
I don't blame you. Anyway, so the globe prediction was 263 meters. The flat Earth prediction is 1,000 meters by these particular latitude, longitude measurements there on the top of the screen. And I don't have the details.
Okay.
It won't surprise you. The results won't surprise anybody. But once again, I'm open to be corrected. If I got it wrong, if the flat Earth prediction that I did is wrong, tell me about it. But you don't get to complain that I did it wrong if you can't correct me on it.
Hey, I'm dying to get back to flat Earth. So if somebody wants to show me why I'm wrong, I'm ready for that as well. It hasn't happened yet. It's just been a lot of name calling and stuff like that, but nothing, just globetard this and globetard that. But that isn't going to change me back. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. And then I like this one. This is one of my favorites, but it's a bit nuanced. The magnetic field of the Earth is non-optical. And it's not even like you're not looking at things in the sky at all. So the World Magnetic Model is a model of the Earth, of the globe, and it uses, I think, 11 different magnets inside, like modeled inside the Earth, and they move over time, and so the part of the model includes movement.
Let me ask a question real quick, just because I'm confused. Is the North Pole a stronger magnetic pull than other places on the Earth, or weaker?
The magnetic field strength at the North Pole is stronger, but it's also stronger at the South magnetic pole. So they're kind of balanced.
Right, but it would be pulling down. It would be useless though for the compass to be used either place, really, because it would be pulling down, right?
Yes, the inclination is vertical.
Right,
That's
which
the
is going to
direction
drag on the bottom, or it's going to spin kind of out of control.
Yeah.
But throughout the rest of the land, really the magnetic, because I've heard a lot of people come to me and say, well, why wouldn't it be pulling to the ground if you're near the equator, because the north is through the ground? And it's like, no, there's the magnetic field lines, which are, you can actually check those by just looking up on YouTube. Somebody puts a magnet on a piece of paper and drops some iron filings, and you can see how the field lines move everything around that bar magnet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I've heard people say that the Earth, that the magnetic field of the Earth is a block domain wall. Well, that's fancy words. A block domain wall is a place where between two poles of a magnet, the magnetic field is canceled out. So essentially, it's zero. You get zero magnetic field. So if we were on a block domain wall, then we would not. Then magnets wouldn't, our compasses wouldn't do anything. That's a strange claim.
Somebody told me we were on the plane of inertia yesterday, which I don't know what that means either.
That doesn't make any sense. That's just I need a little bit of blue cheese if you're going to be talking like that. And I'd prefer, I just got to say, I'd prefer some buffalo wings to salad. But anyway, so this is the predictions by the World Magnetic Model. Minneapolis is 54 nanotesla, Santiago 23. So the reason why it's lower at Santiago and then it goes back up at Punta Arenas, the reason why is because you're farther away from both poles. Santiago is near the middle of both poles. So, in fact, a bit farther north of Santiago is the minimal magnetic field on the Earth. There's kind of it's not symmetrical. So it's not right at the equator, but it's near. So anyway, the flat Earth prediction, because there's two ideas for flat Earth. One is there's just the North Pole in the middle, and some people think there is no south magnetic pole. That's pretty dumb because it's definitely a south magnetic pole, but fine. Then the farther you go away from the middle, then the less the magnetic field strength is. It has to be. But if you want to say, well, then there is a south magnetic pole. Well, it's the opposite side of the world from Punta Arenas and from Union Glacier, because it is in the ocean south of Australia. That's where the south magnetic pole is. And we were on the opposite side of the Earth from that particular pole. So either of those two models, you have to have an ever decreasing magnetic field as you go farther south.
So I guess I'm confused on that.
Test.
So wouldn't the declination then be 180 for everybody where we were? Because if the south magnetic pole is to our north, right? Oh no, it'd be to our south.
It was to our far south.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, opposite side, like 35,000 kilometers away south.
Right. Gotcha.
Well, or north of us. North on the other side of the North Pole, all the way past to the other side of Australia.
Got you. Or we could look south.
All right. Well, but looking south wouldn't make any sense because what's out there?
On a flat Earth or globe?
On flat, there's nothing.
There's nothing on the flat Earth. Yeah,
we don't know, or there's a big question mark, or there's other lands, or
there shouldn't be
a whole bunch of
there shouldn't be
guesses.
suns over there, and there shouldn't be suns that are above Australia over there. That's for sure. But there was. So,
all right. Anyway, so let me get to the actual measurements. So here is in Santiago. And I wrote down in my notebook, I took 18 measurements at each place. And so what you're looking at there that I'm holding is a magnetometer that I purchased. And then I had somebody that's a software engineer and that does this type of software engineering for his living, write some software to measure the magnetic flux. And that's what that flux is there is 19.26 UT. The T is chopped off on the right, but that's microteslas. It's not a U, it's a MU, but didn't have that letter. Anyway, so the magnetic field strength, the average of all those 18 values is 18.99 microtesla, and the globe prediction was 23.4 microtesla. So not spot on, but this is all of about a $30 piece of equipment. A high quality magnetometer is about $10,000. I didn't have that spare. But if anybody is interested, I would love to retest this with a $10,000 magnetometer. I would just need a sponsor. So
your favorite test is my least favorite so far. I don't know about this one.
I know
it's a stretch.
It's it's a nuance. So anyway, in Punta Arenas, the magnetic field strength was 29.56 microtesla average. And so that got larger from Santiago at 19, Punta Arenas 30. Again, the globe predicts 30 and Punta Arenas 31. So how did it get bigger? And why would it get bigger on flat Earth? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, then in Union Glacier, I measured it. Here you go. It's 45.06 microtesla. It got larger again. The globe prediction was 50, so very close. We're really only getting about one and a half significant figure here. But anyway, it's hard to read, but it is 44.44 over there on the right for the actual measurement on this particular screenshot of a video that I got. And you know how bright it is there. Man, nothing is, you can't resolve anything. It's so bright.
No, I know. They're all making fun of me for having a compass upside down. It's like, well, I was wearing glasses and it was bright. I couldn't see. So that's what happens.
Why is that? They're like, there's something to it. Like, no, there's nothing to it. Anyway,
I looked down at it and I thought that I was just looking at the needle, wasn't paying attention to the numbers that were upside down and glasses, and it was very bright. Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's easy to Monday morning quarterback, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. In this particular video here, I'm like, is it on? I can't see if it's on. And so I took off my sunglasses, put on my regular glasses so I could even see if it was on. Even then, like, it's tough.
I don't know about the shadows on this one, though. I'm going to call some problem on that one.
Yeah, they're the wrong direction. Anyway, so there it is. Globe prediction increasing farther south of Santiago, confirmed, and flat Earth prediction always decreasing with more distance from the North Pole, falsified. And there is 4.5.
Okay, 4.5. And what are some of the other ones that are still left to go? I want to try to at least show them all. But I mean, I'm trying to keep it simple, stupid, right? I mean, I think that some of these are easy enough that people don't need to worry about getting a magnetometer and worry about, oops, what happened?
Yeah, I stopped my share. Sorry, I didn't warn you.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll check super chats in 1 second. I just saw someone come across. Thank you very much for that. But I think that one question I did have for you, did you get the Antarctica stamp on your passport?
I forgot.
Okay, so
Will's like, you got to go do it. It's going to be awesome. I'm like, oh, then I'm like, we left.
So me and you are the only ones who didn't, I think. Because, and it's just a novelty. I hope people realize that.
It's not official, no.
No, it's just a stamp of the outline of the continent. And it was like, weren't they doing it at the gift shop? It was like you had to go into the gift shop and get it stamped or something?
It was in the library, actually.
Oh, yes, I mean, and I was doing something at the time. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, okay, I'll get to it. I knew we had to go back to my tent, go grab my passport, bring it back, and I just forgot and didn't do it. So anyway,
so
I do have Chile.
Here's my Chilean stamp here.
Yes.
So
mine looks like, I don't even know. And then, so that's what people don't understand is Union Glacier is part of Chile. And so we don't need to get our passports stamped.
Well, it's even bigger than that.
What is it?
Antarctica is not a country.
Right.
So you can go to any part of Antarctica and come back. And as long as your exit and your return, depending on, maybe other countries are going to care differently, but Chile doesn't. We could have flown to the South Pole and come back. They wouldn't care.
Right,
we could have gone to.
I see what you're saying.
McMurdo.
It's not just right. Got you.
So we didn't enter another country.
Right. Nope. So. Yes. All right. So that should be good. I wanted to show one other thing, just because you mentioned the Andrew Marsh model, which I think is the best thing for people to look at if they spend any amount of time with it. I think you can kind of come to the conclusion pretty quickly. I'm going to put this over here real quick and to see if we can bring this up. I think that people can come to the conclusion pretty quickly that, look at Toon's a globe head now. Look at that. I knew it the whole time. So just what I think is the best thing to do is put your date over here on the right to December 21st. And then I think this is the most incredible thing. If you look up here at the daylight hours, you'll notice that on December 21st, obviously the North Pole has no daylight hours. But watch as I bring this time down. And you'll see that, let me actually do it down here. Okay, so watch as we move this time. And, oops, not that time. I'm at latitude. So we move the latitude down. Watch that number. So you're watching here where it says daylight hours. How could this be possible unless we lived on a globe? So watch those daylight hours. Now they're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They go perfectly in order all the way to, bring that back up, all the way to the South Pole, at which point it will get to what? 24 hours, right? So imagine how would you have that even be the case on a flat Earth, let alone be able to move it to a globe, and it works out perfectly. Like, those are not just mathematics, those are by observations. You can go and check any of these observations. So same thing is true if you were to go to, now we'll go to the date of, date, and let's go useful dates. Let's go with the summer solstice. So now we're moving, why did I do that? Okay, let's go to winter solstice. There we go. So now we're at June 21st, and it's going to be the opposite, right? So now at the south, we see it has 0, and then move the latitude back up, and you'll watch that go from 0 and right back up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way up to 24. So that is insane that would be the case and it not be true. And then if you go to the equator on, let's go to March 21st. Let's go here, March 20. Let's go to spring equinox. It's fine. That's March 20th. And now if we take that latitude line and we move it down to, say, here, look at the daylight hours is 12:08. And now if we move this down, look at the daylight hours, 12:07, 12:07. So it's basically 12:08 for the entire Earth. So how is that possible? Well, it's because there's 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, plus 8 minutes of basically atmospheric extension, whatever you want to call it. It's just a little bit past the terminator. So, I mean, those things right there. And then if you go here and go anywhere on the globe and check your sunrise, sunset times against observations, it'll match. So I think that it may be difficult for you to get, and I'm just planting the seed so you understand. If you think about that, it would be impossible to take, and Toon was the actual one who got me on this. So Toon, do you remember when I asked you, let me pull this off screen. Remember when I asked you if we lived on a flat Earth, could they map it on a sphere? Remember that?
Could they map it?
Yeah, I said, if we lived on a flat Earth, could projectionists, could a cartographer project that onto a sphere? And you said yes, and that is the correct answer. You could, but I took that as a win, thinking like, okay, see, they could map us on a sphere and nobody would know. And that is true if there was no observations to make. The problem is that we've got stars and we've got a sun and we've got a moon. And if you have those, now picture we lived on a flat Earth with a sun and a moon going around the top of it, and then they project the Earth onto a sphere. How could you make the observations match the sun that's going around the top of people over on the real flat Earth? You couldn't. If it matches observation, to match observations means that you are correct about where you mapped something. So if all the observations mapped correctly onto a globe and match observations, then we live on a globe. It's really that simple. And I don't know why it took me 10 years to figure that out, but it's a mental block. I know Austin Thompson has talked about it. I know Ranty's talked about it. I don't know how to inform people to get rid of it because it just happened by, I guess, observation for me. I mean, I hate to say that I had to go down there to see that, but otherwise I would have always guessed, is it a lie? Are they lying about the South Celestial Pole? Does it actually move across the sky? But then you go down there and you see, no, the celestial pole stays there, which means it's the opposite of the north, which means the stars go around it the other way, which means you're upside down. And that's just that. So anyway, anything else you want to get across to people today? I can't find our screen.
I think you're, I mean, I've seen the usual responses to things like that. Like, that's just a cartoon. It's a diagram. It is a scientific model. That's what a model is.
Correct.
But
people always ask for it in scale.
You can make a physical model, but physical models are kind of simplistic.
Yeah,
right?
it's just
typically models are mathematical of some sort.
I think if you're looking at a scoreboard, so how many sunrises and sunsets does the globe predict with the angles? And the answer is all of them. And then if you looked at how many sunsets with the angles does the flat Earth predict, and it's 0. I mean, that's you can keep believing in flat Earth if you want. For me, I could not, in good conscience, continue to promote something that can't predict the sun, the moon, angles of the sunrise, sunset. Basically, all it does well is place the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn and the equinox over the places that they should be, because that's the observations we make. So that there's no other option. But the Tropic of Capricorn actually goes to the left. We were down there. If you look west at, like, Toon showed you the sun setting south of west, that's because everything goes, that's where the Tropic of Capricorn goes. That's what you have to realize, is that on a flat Earth map, if you're looking west, it goes to the right? It's got to get over there to Australia. but we saw it go left. And then when we called people and said, where's the sun? People in Australia said it's above our heads. So it was south of us in Australia. I'm sorry, south of us in Antarctica, above the heads of people in Australia. Well, what's Australia doing over there? But then when you realize what the Tropic of Capricorn does, you're like, oh, that's the direction of all those. Yeah, it goes around. So people can lose their minds on me all that they want and say I sold out, or Jaron, how much do they pay you? All this stuff. Or where are you lying? Are you a shill? And it actually makes my decision even easier, because it's kind of showing that even if somebody wanted to come back and say the truth, that unless it's the flat Earth truth, then people don't want to hear it. And people won't hear it, and they'll just basically. So just realize that that's a dangerous place that you're at. What you're basically saying now is that you'll never not be a flat earther. Period. Doesn't matter what observations are made or by who, because as soon as somebody says something that doesn't go towards the flat Earth model, you'll just say that they've been compromised. So if that's then just accept that it's a religion at this point, not a scientific enterprise or a scientific endeavor at all.
Yeah. It's not an honest position. An honest person say, well, I will accept evidence. You just need to show the evidence. And
right. And that's what I basically said.
You did. And you saw the evidence. You're like, oh.
And it sucks. Right. I mean, it sucks.
You fought it, but but your honesty said, no, you're going to have to stop fighting it.
Right. I mean, it would have been, as soon as I knew too in my head, I was like, oh shit, then I couldn't come back and say one more day of flat Earth. I mean, I could have hung around and tried to see we've been waiting for years for some of this stuff to be solved. And I kind of come to the conclusion that it's unsolvable. There's just, on a flat Earth map with the sun going in a clockwise formation, there can never be an instance where the sun starts going backwards around people in Antarctica. It just makes no sense. It can't do that. So then you have to start saying, okay, well, if it does that, then isn't that just the opposite of the North? And that's what I noticed. It is the opposite of the North. So what else, what other shapes could it be? And that's another thing. People saying it's a false dichotomy. It's not a false dichotomy because there's only two options. It's flat or it's a sphere. So how is it a false dichotomy? Yeah. Give me a third option.
Well, I mean, it's concave.
Oh, I guess. Okay. So let's give Pastor Ernie he's been sending me every GIF that's ever been made, or GIF. I don't know how you say it.
He has been?
Oh yeah, they're trying to recruit me.
Oh my gosh!
But that's I do like the Stephen Christ's model. It's fun to look at, but it beyond that, I don't know.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he's Brother Ernest.
Yeah, Brother Ernest. Yes,
he is a strange little boy.
He's doing well for himself, I hear. I don't know if what he's saying.
He is. Yeah, good for him. And he's it's kept him so that he doesn't have to fill his time with nonsense.
That's what he says. So, all right. Let me read these super chats real quick, and we'll let you go. I know you have a stream coming up tonight as well. And I already did one today. Let's go to fan funding. See if anybody's got questions for you or comments. So we've got a few of them. Gutted, can't tune in live. I'm on GMT. ZZZ because of work. Sorry about that, Mike Hatch. Thank you for the £2. Tim Tully, $5 says, Jaron, welcome. There's always room for you at the round table. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. We got Rossinate. Nope.
You just call him Rossi.
Rossi. Thank you very much. That's easier. One in chat if you sub tonight. All right. Nice. Hopefully there's a few. Jay Donachie, $5. Jeranism, glad you had a ball movement. That's very good. That's very good. When we're driving home from the place up the 99 here, there's a sign that says, come check out our stool samples. It's like a huge billboard. I thought it was great. It's just like a furniture store, but it's funny.
Nice.
How have your mods taken it? Not good. Icy Spin, thank you very much. Not good, but thank you very much.
Have you had to unmod any?
Yeah, a few. I mean, there's people that were mods that have now jump ship, or they say I jump ship or whatever. But Icy Spin, I wanted to thank you for your help with the observation yesterday. I know you didn't really help yesterday, but you helped the times I was going to do it before, and so I was able to use the same information and the same angles and everything. So
here's something that you will find. If you don't know the math for something, you haven't looked it up yet or don't want to do it, and you ask, you'll get people that know how to do the math and will tell it to you. You don't get that for flat Earth.
Not really.
For all these years, I keep asking flat earthers, show me the math, geometry, nothing. But man, if you have a question for somebody, the answer will come.
Yeah, it seems like it. But thank you, Icy Spin, for that. We've got NPE said, a member for 28 months. You are awesome. You're doing great, Sharon. Many thanks. We've got 78 Mitsu says, welcome to the dark side. We have cookies and beer. I don't drink, sorry, but I'll have cookies. Big Fish, $5 says, it can't be a globe. You'd have a snowball fight in Antarctica. Did you hear that girl call me? I had to message her on, she messaged me on, some girl called on Speaker's Corner, and she was telling me she doesn't think I went to Antarctica. And her reasoning was because I didn't have a snowball fight. Who goes to Antarctica and doesn't have a snowball fight? And I said, that's ice. I don't throw ice at people. That's why.
Well, now you don't live where you can make snowballs.
No.
But you cannot make snowballs at 20 or 25 degrees. They don't work. They have to be right at freezing or a little bit above freezing.
Well, this person knows more about the snow than you.
Together.
Okay. She knows more about the snow than you. She probably never touched it, but she knows more than you do. We've got Tim Davidson says, Rossi became a member of the club. Thank you. Tim Davidson says, I'll take the bet on March 23rd.
What bet?
I guess the bet you made at the beginning, but he wants to go on March 23rd.
Oh,
but you're still going to lose that bet. No. Oh, it will set. Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll set there. No, yeah, it's
okay, gotcha.
It's this. The bet is for the same trip we did.
Oh, in the December.
Well, this year,
I wouldn't take it.
And I have to tell you the reason why. There's an ulterior motive. My wife wants to go. So if I put 100,000 up, I'm going to get it back, right? And they put 100,000 up.
It's a free trip.
Get their 100,000. We both get a free trip. How's that?
She wants to go. Is she crazy? Well, I guess if you are from there. I asked my wife if she wanted to go. She said, F no. No, she does not. She's not a cold fan. She's Filipino. Come on. They need the sun. I checked. Well, the sun's there. It's just at such an angle. Oh, that's another thing people keep asking is why is Antarctica so cold? If it's got the sun 24 hours a day. I tried to say multiple reasons, right? So there's higher up, so there's less atmosphere. If there's less atmosphere, there's less things for the sun to heat. There's less moisture there, which is what holds the heat around you. And plus, it's at such a severe angle, right?
What color is the ground?
White, so it's reflective. Oh,
reflective color, yeah. But the big thing is the angle. So if you think about it, you've got a certain amount of energy coming in this slice. And if that slice hits this way,
right,
you get this much energy in this much space. But if it comes in at an angle, you get this much energy over a much larger space.
Yeah, and people can do that themselves by just grabbing a globe and then a big enough light that you're able to light the globe. And then if you use one of those laser thermometers and just check the globe in the north versus right at the equator versus the south, you're going to see that there's a temperature difference there. All right. I checked. Steve's offer was first to show, says Rossi. First to show.
First to Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
About your synths versus sets.
I thought that Where's Wally should win that. He did a really good one. I think it was Where's Wally did it. Yeah. FTFE did a decent one. Rodman
DP Debunks did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. And then, I was watching Flatswood and they were like, oh, Jaren's so stupid. He doesn't. I was like, listen, I didn't watch Steve's video. Why would I watch that? Why would I watch somebody who's saying I said something? I'm like, I don't watch that. So then I get to the Drunk Debunk show and he's telling me, so what is this about a lemon? So I didn't know what he's talking about. So I said, I don't know what you mean. He says, oh, well, Steve says that you left a lemon in Antarctica. I'm like, I didn't even touch a lemon there. I don't know what you're talking about. And those guys are like laughing. Oh, you're so stupid. You don't even know. But I didn't watch his video. They're like, he doesn't even know that he's talking about the Gus Grissom lemon. Like, yeah, because I was invited on a show and just asked about a lemon that I left in. I'm like, I didn't leave any lemons there. Now, granted, I eventually figured it out, but just so stupid that people think they're so smart. Me saying the word set is like the equivalent of me leaving a lemon on the lemon like Gus Grissom did.
So it's not evidence.
No. What do you mean?
Go get evidence, people.
It's not evidence, no. I don't know what that is. Atorius, thank you very much for the $2. And Nick BP says, respect to you for what you've done. Thank you very much. 10 Australian. Very nice. We've got Weeaboo Metalhead. These people are your fans, I think. 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Where I'm at, oh boy, I'm out. And I work in an open garage till 4 a.m. I would not do that. I'm out. And I still stand by my claim to fame that I've never shoveled snow my entire life, and I don't plan on it. Weird how every time the Earth is tested, it confirms the globe. Rather interesting. Also, Flurfs in chat. Why is there no functional flat Earth based map? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it is. I think it's just a, it's either a religious attachment or a want to be contrarian or a want to be anti-government, anti-establishment, which
I get that people want to be contrarian.
Yeah, I get
get that. We all have that, right?
Yeah,
I do, but
yeah, where you want to draw the line is when, I mean, I saw people teaching their kids flat earth. So the problem with that is, of course, you're doing damage to teach something that isn't true, right? So you don't want to do that. In my opinion, I say you teach children how to think, not teach them what to think. So it does seem like that's what is going on. So that's why I think it's important. And it's important to anybody who's ever heard me say that the earth is flat. I want them to at least hear me say why I no longer think that. And then they can choose from there whether they want to continue believing it or not. But I just don't want to be somebody who people are flat earthers because of me, because I've realized where I went wrong. And that's just fact. And people can call it a shill move or they can call it sold out. I wish I sold out. I wish somebody gave me money for that. But unfortunately, nobody did. Weird how, oh yeah, there we go. Thank you very much to that, Allison. Stop the Stupidity gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. That's nice of you. We've got Weeaboo Metalhead again, $5 says, gotta go so I can freeze my nuts off at work. I'll watch later. And we're here for you regardless of the insults and those throwing you under the bus. It's all right. You realize who friends are and who they're not. GBS Warrior says, Jaren has intestinal fortitude. Flatzoid gives me intestinal indigestion. It's so baffling over there. It's like a group of just guys talking about things that don't exist forever.
It's a reality distortion zone over there.
It's so funny because I just warn anybody who's talking about the trip being fake, just know that all of us know that it was 100% real. So what is it doing to your credibility at all?
Anybody can book the trip.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I will pay for their trip if they're right.
We've got Hugo Perez says, $5 says, I would like Jaren to go on a flight with Eru, Landu shit, and show us Baja California from Texas, 760 miles like Jay Tolan did. I don't even know if Jay Tolan stands behind that now. I think he switched to a globe believer. I'm not sure.
A while ago, he talked about the moon.
Yeah, he thinks there's things on the moon or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that was a little
He's
weird
a nice guy.
But...
I mean, I met him in Vegas. We went to dinner together. He's a nice guy. But yeah, I don't know where he's been lately. We've got Lord Illuminous Pooh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to hear
he's
you
part of the
pronounce my name.
Illuminati.
Welcome back.
There you go. Hilarious.
Lord Illuminous Pooh. I like that. That's good. Rossi back says, my ex-wife is from Antarctica. She's that cold. All right. And yeah, great. And we got Rhino says, great show, guys. Thanks, Rhino. Rhino's a former flat earther. I've had about 20 people that have been either through messaging or through Telegram or through Facebook have admitted to giving up the flat earth belief. So that's 20.
There is on flurf.info, the wiki site, a list of former flat earthers. I don't know if you're on there yet, but you certainly will be. And so if anybody else is, you can edit the site yourself. You can add yourself to it. Or Peter Markley, you know who he is? He's on Discord.
I think so.
You could message him if any of you out there are like, hey, put me on the list. So you can get on the list. Because you've heard, I don't know if you've said it, but you've heard it said that there's no ex-flat earthers. But of course there have been, right? Randy,
yeah, I think that really the reason why is because they don't want to end up like me. So that's why they don't mention it. They just kind of scurry away. Well, like not Simon Dan. What's the guy's name? Tiger Dan. Who I still owe an apology. I got to do that because I made a really rude video when he basically bailed years ago. And I want to say this is 8 years ago. Bailed from Flat Earth because of Antarctica. And I gave him a hard time and said, you don't know these things happen. You're just believing people. You're not, And so if I would have listened to him, I would have saved myself 8 years of anguish. We've got Just a Messenger says, Flat Earthers ODing on copium. So glad to have you on the globe side, Jaren. Weight off your shoulders. Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least now you know what you're saying is the case, and that's why it's no worry for me. It's not like anybody can do anything to disprove at least the 8 that I mentioned in my video the other day. And those are very simple ones. I wanted to come up with some simple things that people can do themselves, not have to rely on NASA, not have to rely on government, not have to rely on authority. And those things are simple. I think that God put the sun here so that you would know where you live. And if you just learn to pay attention to the sun, watch the sun every day, travel 69 miles, watch the sun, watch the stars, see what happens, you'll realize, it's 69 miles per degree because there's 360 degrees and that is 25,000 or about that, 24,901. I think it's 24,800 something, but whatever. It's close enough. All right. So yes, I would say weight off my shoulders. We've got Rossi again says, I love a good conspiracy theory. Ask me about National Football Entertainment sometime. Oh, you believe in the football's fake? I always hear people say that, but then in a Super Bowl like this one that happened and it's just a blowout, well, why would they do that? Where's the fakery there? That wasn't a good show.
Yeah, that wasn't a good show.
No. Eddie Reese says, I've always known you were a smart one. Thank you. Appreciate that, Eddie. $2. And Shifty Sam says, Jaron, when will you be collecting the 3 Bitcoin from Earth for globe proof, which he himself said doesn't work on a flat Earth? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if that would work in court, but yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole point of saying globe proof. But if Earth gets to be the one who's in charge of what's globe proof, well, it's like he's not going to take you up on your offer for the bet because he says that they fake it with lasers. So if you go down there with him, that's what they're going to do. So he basically can't win that bet.
No, he would have to prove that they faked it with lasers.
No, just say it.
Okay, now I need to do something. I have on my Dropbox, I have a folder called Flurfs.
Okay.
And in that folder is one folder named Jeranism.
Fun.
And it is in the wrong folder.
Yeah, get it out of there. I don't want to be in the Flurf folder.
It is 508 gig.
Gigabytes?
Yes.
Why? What do you have saved on there?
And now it's
all my videos?
I've just moved it into Globeheads.
What do you put all our videos on there?
Yeah, so let's see, the largest subfolder is videos. Yeah.
Wow. You have problems. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. I think the rest, the non-videos is all of maybe 3 gigs.
And what do you keep those all on, those little drives, and then you have a bunch hooked up to your computer, or how do you have that on your?
I have right now 6 hard drives in a, not 6, 5.
Like
not
in
8
machine,
8
like
drives together in a JBot. I have a 60 or 70 terabyte array on my desktop here.
Wowzers. All right, let's see. I think that's it. We got, what does that say? FPV XTC.
I don't know.
299 says, I'm glad you guys are able to discuss TFV together. Well, we've got a reunion coming up. I'll show that real quick. That is on 2 weeks from today, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's the date. So check that out. That'll be on the Final Experiments channel, where we'll all get together one final time for a rewind, and we'll answer some lingering questions if people still have them. I'm trying to think if there's anything that has come up recently that was hard to answer. Just somebody asking about the passport, and then me saying I don't have an Antarctica passport, and they all lost their minds. And then I was like, no, I'm sure there's one other person at least that didn't get it, but so it's you.
Yeah.
But we were there, and obviously the live streams that we did from there proved that unequivocally. Trying to think if anything else. So somebody did mention to me yesterday that they are thinking that your program that you made for Dave McKeegan is somehow was meant to flip sunspots or something. But I was like, to them, I just said, again, that's something that you can go do yourself. Call somebody down south, have them take a picture of the sun, and then you take one from the north. And when they're upside down, that's all that we've said.
Dave provided the original raw files off his camera.
Oh, so they're in the file. Okay, and then that
my
link
program
is
couldn't have done it. Yeah, go look at them. It was a way to do a couple, over 1,000 photos non-manually, because manually it'd be a pain in the butt.
How did you tell it how to center the sun?
I did edge detection. I found the left, right, top, bottom of the sun, and then centered it in the right, and they're all the same size, so within 1 or 2 pixels, and then cropped it to 1,000 pixels on either side total, so 1,000 by 1,000, and then
gotcha.
Some image detection libraries in Python.
All right, we're gonna head out of here. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. What do we have? We'll put out a video today. What is that? The 360 degree. But I'll just show it to you guys. Can check it out. I got to make a new outro because my outro says check the globe. It's falsified, which is a false outro. So I have to redo that. Come up with a new saying. So what is this saying? Oh, I see. All right. I'm going to head out. Toon, any final words for everybody?
Hey, it's been great talking to you and glad to have you here.
And we'll do it again, and we will cover the other. So we'll probably do it 2 more times. To make sure we cover all the 15 experiments. Or what did you end up not doing, 1 or 2 or something?
I couldn't do celestial navigation because it's too cloudy.
Okay.
And then I think there's maybe one other that I didn't do.
But we'll get through all of them. And then people, if you have any questions, you can either message me or you can message Toon, I'm sure. I know he's on Facebook. My best place to reach me is Telegram, t.me/Jeranism, if you guys have any questions. All right. Thanks, Toon. I'm going to put this up on the screen. We'll just watch this for a little bit with some music and talk to you guys soon.
All right. Bye.
Till next time, this has been Jeranism. Peace.
Wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, a disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I God is working, never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go to last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. you know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus.